Hey, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Arizona Outdoor Show. My name is Mike Glover. I am the president of Arizona Outdoor Solutions and founder of Arizona Outdoor Charities. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about how to get our kids outdoors and the benefits of even ourselves going outdoors right here on the next episode of the Arizona Outdoor Show. Let's get started. So younger generations seem to be, I'm just going to make sure I'm not on mute here and not just talking to myself. Okay. Before we go ahead and jump right into the content, make sure that you go ahead and hit like, comment, or even subscribe to the channel, whether you're listening on our podcast or Facebook or our Facebook group or YouTube or anything like that. We are streaming to a couple of different places right now. And so make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time that we go live. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about getting kids outdoors. And last week, we discussed Black Canyon Lake. And it was interesting to see my own kids, how they reacted differently to the outdoors. We don't actually get outdoors too much just because with the recent year and all the changes that have been going on, things have been closed and it's been a lot harder to get outdoors. And so we're trying to find different ways to do that. But it was something that interesting that I found was that my kids connected really well with the outdoors. And it's something that I've missed growing up in Boy Scouts and camping a lot and fishing has been a great experience growing up, and that's something I want to have my kids experience as well. So doing a little bit of research for this week's show, I actually learned a new term called biophilia, and it sounds kind of gross, but it's not. It's basically the human desire to connect with nature and to connect with the outdoors and other living things. Many parents today, however, would rather actually just stick their kids in front of the couch, stick them on a screen, whether it's a TV, tablet, a phone, something of that sort that rarely gets them outside. And some people call this nature deficit disorder. And it's not a technical medical term or anything like that, but it is something that we are facing as a generation now, is because it's so easy to be indoors with the way technology has advanced. Ever since the 80s, when both parents started going back to work and coming home exhausted and microwave dinners and all that kind of stuff, parents get home, they're exhausted. I'm exhausted when I get home. And I am lucky enough to have a wife who stays at home with my kids. We homeschool our kids now, but she's exhausted also when I get home, because raising 4 boys, especially 4 of my boys, is extremely difficult. And so we're exhausted by the time the day is over, and it's easy to just stick the kids out in front of the screens and relax ourselves. But I found an interesting article according to the Child Mind Institute. Okay, and I'll have a link for all this kind of stuff after the show is over, and also in the article that we're going to be posting on our website at arizonaoutdoors.co. But the average American child spends 4 to 7 minutes outdoors, but will also spend an average of 7 hours in front of a screen, which is incredible. I don't know if I always completely agree with that, but technology is becoming, in a way, trying to help us be more conscious of how much screen time we're actually doing. You now have features on, flagship smartphones and tablets that show you how much screen time. It's called digital well-being. Look it up in your settings. You'll see how much time you're spending on specific apps and on your phone, and you may be surprised how much time you're actually spending on your phone. Now, normally I would say get off your phones, but if you're watching right now or listening right now, I want you on your phones, because we're going to talk about some pretty great stuff here. But take a look at the digital well-being. Something that we have to do now with us, especially homeschooling our kids. They do have tablets, they do have computers that help them learn, But within that digital well-being setting, we're able to go on and set specific parameters on which apps have certain time restraints and which apps don't. And then overall tablet time, and so after a certain amount of time, the tablet will actually lock itself and they have to ask permission to open it up again. And then we as parents have to go in and give them a specific amount of extra time. So now with all of this extra time that we have, not trying to spend it on our technology, but rather going outdoors, you actually will find that it's better for our minds, our bodies, to spend time outdoors. And why am I talking about this, right? It's because a lot of times I think we struggle finding ways to relax. We're trying to get to the gym and work out indoors. We're trying to get a sense of either relaxation or a sense of a break from the mundane stuff of the day. And so going outdoors, there's a lot of studies that actually support going outdoors can actually do better for you than trying any kind of indoor remedy where you can try and relax and become better focused. And something that I do as a digital marketer, as a business owner, and as a charitable operator as well, we're always trying to help people focus more, do better business, and things like that that will help them focus a little bit better. So here are a few things that I have found that can actually show benefits of going outdoors. Okay. Benefit number one is to build confidence and responsibility. And what's great when we go out camping, for example, we follow the no trace behind, right? Leave no trace behind. And sometimes my kids will find a piece of garbage or something on the ground that was not ours. And, when I say, hey, pick this up, my son will say, hey, that's not mine. We didn't have any of those snacks or these wrappers or anything like that. But it's a sense of responsibility of taking care of the environment around us and having that responsibility and that satisfaction, knowing that you've left a place cleaner than you've actually found it. Okay. It also promotes, number two, promotes creativity and imagination. I can't tell you how many times I've gone camping with family, friends, all that kind of stuff. Boys always come back with sticks that are swords or guns, and girls come back with these pretty little bouquet of flowers. There's a lot of different imagination rather than a video game that is, forcing you to, even open world video games, which I'm not opposed to video games. I like video games, but I think there's time and place. But a video game forces you to see things a certain way, just like a movie. But when you're outdoors, you let your imagination run wild, and you're able to imagine things that are a little bit more creative. I know my kids are a lot more creative than I am. And so seeing when they come back with cool looking rocks and they call them power crystals or something like that, or kyber crystals if you're a Star Wars fan like I am. But it's a great way to help with creativity and imagination. Okay. It also, number three, provides different stimulation. Okay. So kids, when they play video games, they're only focused on a few senses. Their sight, the feel of the controller vibrates, cool, kind of tries to help you be more in the video game. Now we're doing more virtual reality VR games and stuff like that. But nothing's going to beat the sensation of being outdoors, getting, all your senses firing and being able to feel the environment, smell the environment, and all of the other natural senses that you have of being outdoors. It helps kind of rejuvenate and recharge those senses so that you have a better sense of things when you are in more of an urban setting. All right. So it also gets you moving, right? And this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is number 4, right? So it also gets you moving. Okay. Getting moving outdoors is a great thing to do. Exercise has proven to be amazing for the body, for the mind even. It helps your mind focus a little bit. It helps you release endorphins to aid your body recover from things. getting out and actually touching things and moving around and having a good time with nature and whatnot is a great way to get things moving. Now, the last one here is that it reduces stress. I think a lot of us are extremely stressed out with the way things are. We're able to relax a little bit better when we go outdoors. We're able to relax our minds a little bit. There's actually a theory called attention restoration theory. Okay, it's when we're in an urban environment where we're in the city, our attention is directed, right? We try to focus out away. We try to avoid distractions, especially like when we're driving or anything like that. We strive to focus so much and it can exhaust our mind. I know exactly how that feels when I come home from work and my mind is just pushed to the limits. I'm exhausted. One of the great ways, and my wife always pushes me on this, is to get outdoors and relax a little bit. And when we do get outdoors, and this is a part of the attention restoration theory, is that we have this, when we get outdoors, our mind is not so focused. It can rest, it can relax. And then when we get back to our day-to-day routine, we can actually focus better because our mind has rested and relaxed. So that's pretty much just some of the few tips I wanted to share with you today. If you want to help people get outdoors more, I encourage you to go to ArizonaOutdoors.org. It's a nonprofit organization that we've teamed up with as a fiscal sponsorship to reduce costs, but it is aimed at helping people get outdoors, and not just cash donations are accepted, but also non-cash donations. And so if you have outdoor equipment or things that you are no longer using and could use a deduction, go to ArizonaOutdoors.org and I can show you exactly how that can work. If you are an outdoor business who would like to sponsor the show or like to get featured, go to ArizonaOutdoors.co. We'd be more than happy to discuss your business on the show and as well as feature your business so that people know where to go outdoors and have a good time. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go to ArizonaOutdoors.co/YouTube if you would like to see more of the show. And I thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Thank you.